So I'm going to read from, did you guys ever see this mitzvah chap of Anne's called Art is War from 2008? It's on, what's that, Issue? What is that site called where you can, Issue? What did I see? It sounds so dumb. There's two S's and two U's. Issue. And I'm reading the introduction to Difficult Ways to Publish Poetry. Because one of the things I was thinking about Anne that I admire so much about her work is its imaginative capabilities. So I also am going to read a short poem I wrote, sort of trying to channel Anne's imaginative possibility. So on December 14th and December 15th, 2006, I had been thinking about difficult ways to publish poems. On December 16th, 2006, I told a friend that I am also a conceptual artist and therefore like to have artistic ideas. I said I had an artistic idea about making a collection of difficult ways to publish poems because poems should be scarce, precious, rare, expensive, etc. On the 14th and 15th, the concept was to execute these difficult ways to publish poems, one poem a year until my death at approximately 83, giving me 50 poems across my lifespan published difficultly. The difficult publication would therefore have to be difficult, but not impossible, and certainly possible within a time span of a year, taking into consideration also other obligations like work, family, community activism, travel, illness, etc. On the 16th, after telling my friend about the idea, he suggested difficult ways to publish poetry, which went well beyond the parameters of the possible. On the 16th of December, wishing to do something with these very difficult techniques, I thought it would be better to share the techniques with other poets so that they might use them to publish their work. My first thought was to set up a difficult poem publication workshop with workstations providing the essential materials for each concept. In Station 1, for example, I would supply a cage of hamsters, miniature splints, and foot binding materials. It was pointed out to me that not only would this workshop have fairly expensive overhead, but that people would be unlikely to travel to Des Moines, Iowa to work on difficult publication of their poems. I then decided to make dioramas of difficult poem publication techniques, but I did not have enough shoeboxes. Eventually, these difficult poem publication techniques ended up on the internet, and at one point, these were presented to a crowd of 60 to 100 people in Atlanta, Georgia in spring of 2007. It is not as simple as one might think to have suitable artistic thoughts for the difficult ways to publish poetry project. For example, I have been advised not to publish my ideas about infecting the pores on my declared enemies' bodies so that the blemishes might spell out the words of poems. Apparently, this idea had at least two problems. One, the feelings of my enemies might be hurt, and two, people do not like to read or think about infected pores. This was disappointing because the plan involved first making my enemies sit in a hot sauna for 30 minutes, which would have been relaxing and might have improved their demeanor. I'm hoping that we'll all go read these and really take it up. As well, I have written and then blocked out with thick black permanent marker many difficult ways to publish that involve overt sexual content, like 2 or more attractive amateurs making love on film and climaxing with a punctuation mark of fluids. This is particularly useful for the many poems that involve exclamation points. Indeed, my trusted advisors have cautioned me not to make public any difficult ways to publish poetry that involve human or animal fluids, including but not limited to ejaculate, urine, saliva, gushings, and leakages. I have not included any ideas about using the heat fluids of fertile raccoons. I have not included my many ideas about stallions. Sometimes I have edited my original ideas so as not to seem cruel. In the sociopathic tendencies idea, now titled Haters and Fakers, I had the night before falling to sleep devised neo-Baroque and/or Dadaistic forms of torture that the thugs would perform on the haters and fakers in the ballroom of the Hilton. The morning light was awful, reflecting off the snow here, and in it I realized that to write out these forms of torture would make the project appear to be that of a sadist. But without detailing precisely what strong-arming means, for example, making poets sit for 1 hour with spoons dangling from their noses, the idea seems hollow, or perhaps more generously elliptical. I am not so fond of what stands as I was of what I imagined in my twilight sleep. I have restrained myself from including too many ideas that involve environmental pollution, setting oil wells on fire, for example, or spilling colorful toxins into reservoirs. Any artistic project, including your project of artistic thoughts, involves a mediation between the vulgus and vulnus, the crowd and the wound. Thus, I continue to hold back from you the crowd of dozens, these most painful and potentially unpopular of my ideas. They're really good. Okay, so this is for Anne and Cassandra and King Tender, with Beatrice Preciado, Hiromi Ito, Alice Notley, Monique Wittig, Rosa Luxemburg, and thanks to the list of 20 things you absolutely cannot wear over the age of 30, Celine and the British Board of Film Censors. My arms in that photo, 2 slabs of meat, just an image, but it has potential to defile itself, to grow older. Just an image, but it has potential. I could crush the men to grow older between the slabs. I could crush the men between me and you, between the slabs. My head is making my shoulders look huge. Between me and you, deep and wide, my head is making my shoulders look huge. Oh, let me cross over. Deep and wide, flex and heave. Oh, let me cross over wearing scrunchies and platform flip-flops. Flex and heave with the given supplies, scrunchies and platform flip-flops. That is my father's uterus. The given supplies, swimming against a heavy tide, that is my father's uterus, or I am qualified to give you pain by telling the truth. Swimming against a heavy tide, I did not cross my arms over the uncomfortable region. I am qualified to give you pain by telling the truth. A single time wasn't enough. I did not cross my arms over the uncomfortable region. In spite of all directives, a single time wasn't enough. Curl back my lip to show my teeth. In spite of all directives, great horsey thighs. Curl back my lip to show my teeth. Slightly more oily skin, sexual excitement, sweat. Great horsey thighs, the night of reaction. Slightly more oily skin, sexual excitement, sweat. I spent an hour in the bathroom. The night of reaction, booty shorts, leopard print, hoop earrings, an hour in the bathroom, nourishing the spinal cord. Booty shorts, leopard print, hoop earrings, the fantastic, confused news, nourishing the spinal cord, cries of delight and of enthusiasm. The fantastic, confused news, spanking, face-sitting, female ejaculation, cries of delight and of enthusiasm, lively agitation, spanking, face-sitting, female ejaculation. My head is making my shoulders look huge. Lively agitation, urination in various contexts. My head is making my shoulders look huge, just an image, but it has potential. Urination in various contexts, all the latent possibilities, just an image, but it has potential. Then all of me would be full of courage, all the latent possibilities, I've had it up to here. Then all of me would be full of courage, a sexual colossus of self-design, I've had it up to here, bare-chested on a winter day. A sexual colossus of self-design, a thorn planted in the somatic field of the mind, bare-chested on a winter day, my arms in that photo, 2 slabs of meat. Thank you, guys.